Welcome to Inside Marywood Health Sciences, where it's all about real voices, real stories, real Marywood. I'm your host, Samantha Miko, and today we're talking about a part of our college that quietly powers absolutely everything around it, science and math. Joining me today is Lisa Antoniacci and Krista Wargo. Thank you guys so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Let's start with something simple, introductions. What are your titles and what do you do here at Marywood?
So I'm Lisa Antoniacci. I am an associate professor in biology in the department. I'm also currently serving as chair of the Science, Math, and Computer Science department. And I've been here for, I think, 18 years, mainly teaching microbiology, immunology courses in the department.
And I'm Krista Wargo. I am an assistant professor of practice, and I have been here 7 years full-time, and before that I was an adjunct for 14 years. So I would come in at night after my real job and teach. And I teach biolabs, gen bio, microimmunology labs, and then the nursing micro and microbiology labs.
That's great. So one of the things I've learned from working here and with my own experiences is that there isn't just one path forward with these majors. What got you guys into this major? What makes you passionate about this? You know, give me a little bit about your background, your journey to getting here today.
Yeah, so I've always loved science. I mean, since I'm a little kid, I could remember in elementary school. I mean, one Christmas I got a microscope for Christmas. So total nerd. I've always loved science. And then as I continued through like high school and then into college, I majored in biology. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do when I grew up, but I always thought it would involve research. I always loved research, and I finished my degree in biology. I got a master's in clinical chemistry, and then started working in industry for several years. I worked at a company local to Marywood, Sanofi Pasteur, which is about 30 minutes north of here. They're one of the global leaders in vaccine development. I worked there for a couple of years. I loved it there. Krista actually was an intern
Yes, I was.
at Sanofi when I worked at Sanofi and worked in the same lab that I worked in. And I stayed there for a couple of years, but I always wanted to go back and get an advanced degree. So after a couple of years of working in industry, I went back to school to pursue my PhD. And the plan was always to go back into research when I was finished. But when I was at Lehigh University, where I got my PhD, I kind of caught the teaching bug. I got to be a teaching assistant, and I got to work obviously very closely with the faculty there. And I just was really inspired by being able to work with students and help them achieve their goals. And so when I graduated, I looked for jobs in academia, and one at Marywood opened up, and I've been here ever since.
And here you are today. How about you?
So I agree. I also always liked science, but I went into college thinking I wanted to be a doctor. The school that I went to was a local university, but they allowed us to kind of like, they had a program where you went into the hospital and you shadowed residents. And when I almost passed out at the sight of everything in the hospital, I realized that was not for me. And so at that point then I was a lost soul, like probably a lot of students are when they realize, oh, like this isn't for me. And I could still remember like my dad being like, well, why didn't you take the MCAT? Because I'm not going to med school because I can't stand the smell of the hospital.
I get that.
So, yes. So I had a really great professor who I did research with, and he was the one who had hooked me up with my internship at Sanofi Pasteur. And I remember like interviewing with a lot of other college students. I don't even know, but I ended up getting it, me and another girl. And that really kind of was like, he knew I definitely was not going toward the medical school path like everybody else. So that kind of opened the doors for me there. I stayed there. When Dr. A left, I got her job, believe it or not, full time. I think I was their longest standing intern ever there. And I worked there for 20 years. And then a little ways in, I was interested in potentially going back for my teaching credits. So when I came here to Marywood to get information about that, I met with the department chair at the time here in science, and he asked me if I would be an adjunct. So then I started to teach, and I liked that. And then when the full-time job opened, 14 years later, I left and came here.
Well, that's great. So do you see a lot of students transferring from one major over to you guys because of that? Is that like an ongoing thing?
Absolutely. I don't think it's because of like us, or I just feel like because of the background that we both had, that we're able to help those students and understand that if it's like your mom or your dad or like a brother or sister who's saying you need to go into medicine or you need to be a PA, and it's more coming from outside sources than what the student, I just really like science. I think that we're both able to show them a different path and something that maybe they're more interested in pursuing.
Right.
Because we've lived it. We've both lived it.
My dad would look at me and say, like, what are you going to do with a biology degree? Yeah. Well, there are a lot of things, right, that you can do with a biology degree. And so when someone's saying that to you, you can help a student who is sitting across from you and their parents or somebody, a loved one, is saying the same thing to them.
And you kind of touched on it. What are some other big misunderstandings of the science and math world? What are different levels you can go down, different pathways that aren't just the scientist or the mathematician you would see on TV or in a Criminal Minds type TV drama?
Oh, you hit on my favorite show. I love all the Criminal Minds, Law and Order stuff. No, there are so many different avenues to pursue in biology. And that's one of the great things about our department is that we do offer a lot of different programs. So obviously there are a lot of healthcare programs, PA, medicine, med lab science, those kinds of things within our department. But then we also have like the research side of things. And if it is research, we can really cultivate something specific for you. So if it is more on the forensic side, we have worked with students that are now working in like coroner's labs that graduated from Marywood with a degree in biology. And now they are doing some of those crime scene things as well. And when they were here with us, we were giving them research projects to work on that would allow them to pursue that pathway and learn more about that specific field. So there's a lot of diversity within the department itself. And if someone has a specific interest of something in biology or in chemistry, we really try to bring that to the student and allow them to pursue that within the department, even if it isn't like specifically, med lab science or, biotech. We can find those little nuances in between and try to make it specific for the student.
Now, in the past few years, we've gone from, 3 colleges down to 2 colleges. How does that affect you guys in any way? Because you were right in with the arts, and now you're over with healthcare.
I think we probably fit more with healthcare. Our students are predominantly going in that track. And so even if it is a biotech student, they're looking to become a research scientist. So it is more health science than arts. And so I think it's been a pretty easy adjustment.
Yeah, it's definitely been an easy transition for us. And it does make a lot more sense for us to be on this side. And even like Krista was saying, like a lot of the students that are biotech or interested in research, they're interested in medical research too. So it does fit, even though they're not going to do something clinical or in like a hospital setting, they're still interested in like disease prevention, those kinds of things.
Hello, Marywood students. It's Katie McNulty, the director of Marywood's Tutoring and Writing Services. I'm here to remind you to take advantage of these free services. Tutoring helps boost your academic performance, make social connections, improve your confidence, and foster better study habits. And best of all, we offer both in-person and virtual options. Find out more information and book your session today at marywood.libcal.com/appointments. That's marywood.libcal.com/appointments.
So we discussed all the different majors and pathways. What are some hands-on experiences in the classroom that students can look forward to in both programs?
So a lot of the hands-on stuff for us comes in the labs. So for most of our science courses, there is also a lab component associated with it. So whatever they're learning in lecture, they then get to experience something hands-on in lab. So that's where I think a lot of it comes from. And then in addition to that, as the students become upperclassmen, if they're really interested in what they're doing in the lab, they can also pursue like research projects as well and work with faculty or, do independent projects with faculty as well. So they can get a lot of hands-on experience that way, which looks great on a resume and as you're kind of building towards your career.
Do you see a certain lab that students look forward to the most, or maybe a lab that
They always like micro.
Yeah, micro is always something that I think that they do like. In Gen Bio, I think they're learning a lot of just the basics.
Yeah.
And so when they get to micro, sometimes it's a little bit new because they're working with bacteria. There is all like this like clinical background to it too. So I think that they like that. I also think they like immunology as well. In every single lab that we do in immunology, we put like a clinical scenario on it. So whatever test they're learning or getting hands-on experience with, we're always telling them they're like testing for something. So we, in our scenarios, we test for like HIV proteins, or we test for salmonella, or we test for the presence of some sort of antigen. And I think that they like that because they can see more of like the real world applications with those courses.
And they like Michael's cell culture class too.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
like a fan favorite. Everybody really likes that one.
Yeah.
They talk about it all the time that they really like that. Like it's always like a little wait list for them to get in there. Yeah. And then as they get older too, we will help them try to find internships. So over the past couple of years, we've had some students really have some wonderful internships that we kind of help them get and guide them through the whole process. Usually in, we've seen a bunch, large pharma, whether it's local or local to where they live in the Philadelphia area. We saw a couple with like a forensics one with
at the state police,
right? Yep. Sarah always has a bunch that go out and do environmental science ones. So we're there to help them basically and guide them into finding something they're interested in.
We're talking about going outside of the university. How are ways that your department helps the community and keeps up with the Marywood mission of that?
Oh gosh, that's Sarah. Sarah and her river and everything she does.
Yeah, so Sarah's our resident environmental scientist. And she collaborates a lot both on campus and off campus. But I would also say our students as well, like our biology clubs, we do a lot of like STEM days in local like elementary schools or high schools where students with the faculty will go into the schools and they'll talk to the students about science and what's exciting about science.
We bring the frog.
Yeah, we'll do some like dissections with them, just some things to really get both elementary and high school students excited about science. And obviously with the older students, the high school students, we can talk to them specifically about our programs and careers in science as well.
We've judged science fairs. That was fun. It was cute. We had a good time. The students really, really liked that. So we've been out there and we've done that too for local schools who'll reach out. Alumni will usually come back and ask us to do certain things.
I can attest that the frog part of science was my favorite. That was my 6th grade science class, and I will always remember that day.
We bring scopes. I mean, it is like, we need like a van to go. Yeah. It is, my car is packed, yes.
Yeah, a lot of different opportunities for them.
I love that.
This break is brought to you by the Office of Student Disability Services. Looking for a way to get involved? Consider joining DREAM, our organization for students with disabilities and their supporters. For more information, email disabilityservices@marywood.edu.
So both of you have had a career in science, maybe probably in different aspects, but what would be your reasoning for students entering into these careers? And more importantly, why should they choose Marywood?
So for me, I guess the why is it's a very rewarding career,
No matter what way you go with it.
Exactly. Like you're always going to be helping others, whether it be in a clinical setting or in a research setting, you're always helping. The other thing that I always like is your lifelong learning. So, I mean, science is, there's always new information that's going to be coming out in science. And so it allows you to really just be a lifelong learner, and always trying to learn more about your specific discipline, so that then I can then pass that on in the classroom to my students.
And it's fun. Right?
Yeah,
Science
it is fun.
Yeah. I mean, where can you go into a lab and work with bacteria, right? So it's fun. It's fun. And why choose Marywood? Because we really have great faculty here, and we have small classrooms, and our goal is for our students to succeed. We love when they come back and they tell us about all that they've done and you know how far they've made it, and so it's very rewarding for us. And you know, those small classrooms allow us to really work with them and kind of guide them as best we could. They're not just a number here. I mean, they are people who we really, really want to succeed and make it and be happy.
Yeah, and I just want to touch on the small class size. I mean, we do get to know every single one of our students. We are like a family.
We are,
in the department, and across the university as well. But I just like knowing, you know, my students, and that they can always come to us if they're having, you know, any kind of issues, or, you know, if they need help with something. That's one of the big things that we stress, that it's okay, you know, to ask for help, that we're going to be here to help you achieve whatever those goals are that you want to achieve. So, and one of the other things too, besides small class sizes, is that our programs are very flexible as well. So if you're not sure, and most, you know, 18, 19-year-olds aren't sure what it is that they want to be when they grow up.
But they know what their parents want them to be.
Right. So they might be, you know, pursuing something, not because of necessarily that they want to pursue, but, you know, they might just have an interest in something. And if it is science, there are so many different pathways and avenues that we can help them with when they come to Marywood. So if they come and they're like, yes, I think it's medicine, and then they switch and they're like, no, I think it's research, or no, I think I want to work outside and it's environmental science. Like, we have all of these different things that we can then help to get them to where they want to be, a lot of times without losing any time either. So a lot of our programs, within the first 2 years, the students are taking the same foundational courses. And it's not until really the junior and senior year where they're more taking the specialty, like elective courses. So they still have time to figure it out while they're here, because we do have so much flexibility. So if you come in thinking one thing, you can still finish on time in your 4 years and get your bachelor's degree, even if you switch to something else in science. And that's something that we like to talk to them about throughout the entire 4 years that they're here.
And they switch, especially after
and they do
STEM.
switch.
Of STEM 102, when the panel comes in.
Yeah, we have a class that we offer to all of our freshman STEM students, and we bring in, it's alumni that are coming back in to talk to our freshman students, but it's a career panel. And so the alumni get to tell them a little bit about how they got into their particular field and what they're doing. And then the students get to ask them questions like, what does their day-to-day look like? And what's work-life balance? And like, how, you know, do you like your job? And they get to hear that firsthand from someone who's doing it. And so a lot of times in those situations early in the freshman year, they're like, oh, I think I really like that. Or I really like what they were saying. We had an alumni come back and talk to the students, and she's in medical device sales. So she originally started out as a pre-med student, and then decided she really liked research. And then, so she switched from medicine to research, to biology or biotechnology. And then when she was pursuing a career, she was like, I don't know, like, she's very talkative. She likes to interact with people. And so she did sales, but then did the medical device part of it. She's in the operating room. She's in the clinic. She's doing all of the stuff that she thought she wanted to do originally, but she's doing it from a completely different angle. So we like to expose all of the students to that
She's
as
a
well.
fan favorite among the
Yeah.
students.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
chit-chats.
So
They tell me all about it in lab then.
yeah. So like it's even something like that, like sales, like medical device sales. Like she has a degree in biotechnology, a master's in biotechnology. She came in thinking one thing, switch, and she's very, very successful in her career and doing something she's very passionate about.
And half the time the students don't even think about all of these different things that you
Right,
can
and they
do
don't
with this
know.
degree.
And that's one of the things I like to do in our STEM, that freshman STEM course, is to expose them to these different things. Like, yeah, she has a degree in biotechnology, but she's doing sales. Like that might not be something that you have thought about before.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was something that I would have thought about while I was in school. I am glad you guys have all these opportunities and different ways you can show students where they can go with a Marywood degree.
Right.
Well, before we wrap up, there is something fun we'd like to do. A little speed round. Quick, not a lot of overthinking, just whatever comes to your mind first. You guys ready for that?
I guess.
Okay.
Well, we'll start off easy. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Neither.
Neither?
I don't drink either. I'm a hot chocolate person.
Hot chocolate, I respect that. Lab coat. Is it a fashion statement or just for function?
Oh, it's function.
Function.
Yeah.
For sure. Function.
Definitely.
How about favorite number or equation?
Oh. I guess 11 because it's my little one's basketball
Oh my
number.
God,
I don't
mine's
know.
11 too.
Look at that.
Favorite number 11. I'll also say 3. That's my son's basketball number, but 11 is our
have
family
one.
number.
Yeah.
11.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about a favorite TV show, movie, something in pop culture that explains your field really well?
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know. I'm a Swiftie, but that's about it. She's not great with my field, but we love Taylor over there in the science building.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. I don't know. The closest thing I think of TV show that like is Breaking Bad with chemistry.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's like a student favorite, a fan
We
favorite.
like that one.
Did you see an influx in students when that came out? Was everyone asking about it?
No, everybody wants to be like the forensics person when that came out.
Yeah, and forensics is another thing. Like we touched on like the CSI, Criminal Minds, that kind of stuff. I think that gets
I
to
don't know. I watch The
students
Pit
as
and I
well.
love that right now.
The Pit on HBO Max.
Just can't look
is
at the gory parts
wonderful.
without wanting to like pass out.
I've heard that's all of it.
I know.
Yeah.
Close my eyes during those parts.
I pass out walking past the sim labs. I can't even imagine watching The Pit.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Yeah.
Wait, but a movie that I liked, and this is like gonna date me because it's from a long time ago, Outbreak.
Oh yes.
About the what they said was the Ebola virus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I teach micro and immunology and very much into
we
like
talk about
molecular
that in
biology.
nursing
And
micro.
Outbreak was a movie that I was like, oh my goodness, this is
Yeah.
well, it's very scary,
Right.
but it was a great movie.
Yep.
From a science background, pretty cool. So those are some easy ones. Let's get into some hot takes. Science fair volcanoes. Great or overrated?
Overrated.
Yeah, same.
Mhm.
Overrated. We can definitely come up with some better things than a
yes.
volcano.
Yes.
A little hot take I am sure you hear students say, adults say, I'll never use this in the real world. What do you say to that?
Well, I just had a student say it to me last year. And then we had a very lengthy conversation about how important,
Science is?
what we talk about in lecture. It was specifically with bacteria. And we had a whole lecture and she's like, I don't know why this is even important. And I'm like, well, if you're going to be a physician assistant and you're going to prescribe antibiotics, this is going to be important.
If you're going to give vaccines.
Yeah. So we do every once in a while hear that, and we just try to give some examples of, if this is the career you're heading in, this is how it's going to play a role.
It's probably one of my first slides in nursing micro.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Like why am I here in microbiology
Right.
as a nurse? Yes.
My mom is a math teacher in a middle school, and she hears it constantly. And I think she has a list ready to go of why 2 + 2 = 4 is important.
Oh my goodness, we'll tell them they're all going to have to take math when they come to college too. So knowing simple math like that is going to be important so that they can add on to.
They'll all take a math placement test someday.
Yes, they will.
Yes.
Just to wrap it up, what is one thing you think a student in your department should carry with them at all times, a must?
I think you're like lab coat, because I feel like everybody's always missing that. I wouldn't say a calculator, but people have phones these days.
Yeah.
A pipette? No.
Definitely their lab coat
Yeah.
for lab. We do have, they're required in all of our labs. So every science student should definitely have
Closed-toe
their lab
shoes.
coat with them. Yes. Maybe an extra pair of pants.
Yep.
So that they come dressed appropriately for lab, just in case.
Yeah, it's not a problem now, a day like today, but it will be come April.
Yeah. And then maybe an energy drink.
Yes. Yes.
Or a hot chocolate.
Or a hot chocolate. Yeah. Or a hot
A
chocolate.
snack.
Some sugar, just
a
to
snack
kind of
before lab.
just so they can sustain themselves throughout the day. And it is a challenging major, so you do have to put in the work and do the study. So those caffeine drinks might come in handy.
Well, thank you so much for joining me here today and taking time out of your busy schedules to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you to our listeners for tuning into another episode of Inside Marywood Health Sciences. Real voices, real stories, real Marywood. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you enjoyed today's conversations, share it with a friend or a future pacer. To learn more about the College of Health Sciences, visit marywood.edu/healthsciences or follow us on Instagram at marywoodchs. Until next time, I'm Samantha Miko, and this has been Inside Marywood Health Sciences.